Okay, guys. So, hello everyone. And first of all, thank you and a very warm welcome to all of you on joining this session on Python Basics. We have with us here today a very young and talented Python developer, Mr. Abhimanyu. He has been in the Python domain and data science domain since a decade with a very vast experience of working with clients in India and offshore. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of wisdom to share to you all. So, without any further delay, I will let Mr. Abhimanyu take the baton. And once again, guys, thank you everyone who have joined and hope this is a very enriching session for all of you.
Yeah. So hi guys, this is Abhimanyu, right, from Intellipaat. So I welcome all of you to this session where we will be simply having the communication with Python, and we will be simply having an introduction to the powers that Python will be giving us today as a professional working in a data science field, or you just name any of the domain, you will be having Python onto it for sure. Okay. So let me first of all discuss today's agenda. Okay. So we will be having the introduction of Python. Let me have a glance onto the chat section. Just a moment. Okay, fine. So guys, then we will be going ahead with features of Python, uses of Python, what will be the big tech giants that will be considering Python as the integral part of their organization. Okay. Yeah. So let me clear one thing. We will be having more sort of hands-on experience, right? We will be simply going ahead and have the IDs to be exist, and let's give a start to the particular Python codes, right? So the theoretical part, you will be having n number of platforms, n number of YouTube tutorials, right? So we are not hassling around on these theoretical parts. Okay. The best thing that I like about Python is to just code. So now if I talk about Python, right? So guys, Python will be a general purpose language, okay, that will be simply empowering the user with multiple sort of user cases as well as implementation. Now for nowadays, why it's an hot sort of concept or the technologies, right? So with the rise of machine learning and artificial intelligence, the Python has been on its top, right, due to some of the features that we'll be discovering. So the first feature will be the syntax, right, that will be allowing the programmer or the user to express their concepts without hassling around complex sort of syntaxes. Okay, so it's very easy to use, same as sort of English syntaxes that you'll be giving to the respective interpreter. Okay, so all your instructions will be provided to the machine as in terms of layman's English language, right? Fine. So now let me just give you a brief overview about the features, right? Then we will be simply redirecting to the ID. Okay. So the idea will be the platform that will be simply helping us to implement all the Python codes and queries. Okay. So the first thing we have already discussed is about the syntax. Fine. So the syntax, guys, that you will be having, it's very easy. Yeah, nothing more complicated. So if you will be comparing Python with other sort of programming languages, let's say C++, Java, so you should be having much more easier syntax. Now the second and the most important feature will be, so the next and the robust feature will be the huge collection of all the machine learning libraries as well as the packages that will be empowering the user. Okay, so let's say if you will be going ahead with mathematical computation, guys, you will be having a package which is having inbuilt functionalities or predefined functionalities. Okay, now if I talk about, let's say if you are interested in data visualization, okay, so it's a very important part in current scenarios where you will be simply identifying the patterns and the trends in the ongoing data, right? And after that, you will be having some of the decision, or you will be coming up some of the procedures which will be helping an organization to grow, right? Or simply have an organizations to have a glance onto the risk. So for that, you should have multiple sort of packages. Matplotlib is there, Seaborn is there, right? So yeah, now let's say if you are much more interested towards artificial intelligence, deep learning, and all the machine learning things, no worries, no need to hassle around complex sort of codes. You will be having inbuilt machine learning algorithms. Okay, so all the things will be having in their respective places as the packages and the libraries. So don't worry, guys, we will be starting from Python basics. Yeah, we will be giving start with very scratch sort of scenarios. We will be going ahead with variables, right? We will be going ahead with data types. We will be going ahead with looping statements, functions, right? As well as conditional statements. And at the end of the session, I'll be simply showing you a small demo of machine learning algorithm, how it will be implemented, and what's the power of Python. Okay, I'm not interested in this theoretical part for now, guys. Let's simply go ahead and start with the ID. Right now, what is ID? Let me explain you for the same. So first of all, we will be going ahead with ID. So ID will be the respective platforms that will be simply used to implement Python codes. Okay, so there will be n number of IDs, guys, as the popularity of the Python, different sort of organization has built their own ID, right? So we will be going ahead with Jupyter Notebook, as this will be very helpful for new beginners as well as for pros, right? There is nothing to be discriminated between both, right? That is also a respective feature of Python. Okay, so you can simply say that Python is the language that can be preferred by the beginners as well as pros alike, right? So here we will be going ahead with a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so the same thing we will be implementing onto our this respective webinar. After that, you will be having Google Colab. So it's a product that has been launched by Google. Fine. So you can simply go ahead and execute all your respective codes onto the cloud-based environment. No need for installation. Okay. Apart from that, guys, you will be having PyCharm. You will be having Visual Code Studio. Fine, it's a Microsoft product, so it's totally up to you. You can have n number of IDs. So we will be going ahead with this. Why? Because you will be having good sort of graphical user interface, right? And it's very easy to be learned by the beginners. Okay, you will be having input cell, have your code, and just below it you should have a glance onto your outputs, right? So this will be used and we will be launching it through Anaconda distribution. So let's go ahead and give a quick start to our Jupyter Notebook. So I am a window user, so you can simply have it as the installer from your Anaconda distribution. Okay, so if I simply go ahead and give a click on it, you will be having this command prompt. Okay, and automatically it will be redirected to your web browser because it's a web-based application. Now, guys, let's say the people who are new to Python and don't have the installation of Jupyter Notebook. So for them, you can simply go ahead with Google Colab. And this is a cloud-based environment that has been simply provided to the user by Google, right? So due to the popularity of Python, as well as this tech giant is using Python in let's say all of its domain, right? So if you are going ahead with web development, you will be having, if you are talking about the Chrome itself, right? So Chrome will be having certain implementation which will be optimizing our search and web search results, right? So for that, Google has itself provided a cloud-based ID for the same, right? So you can simply give a click. It's for all, nothing needs to be installed. You only have a respective Google account to be logged in on your Google Chrome. After that, you can simply click on new notebook. Okay, so guys, it's for all who had just joined us, right? And who don't have any of the IDs to be installed onto their systems. So this is how side by side they can simply implement the codes. So it's a cloud-based environment, nothing you needs to do, only give a connect. So it will be having all the computing resources, the disk space, RAM to be provided by Google backend engine, right? Nothing has been simply taken up from your local system. All will be provided by Google itself. Okay, so for them you have to simply connect. Okay, and you will be having all the computing resources in cloud-based environment. So this is the alternative way for the people who can directly go ahead and have the same. Right now, guys, let's come on to the Jupyter Notebook. So this is the homepage of the Jupyter Notebook. Now what you have to do, simply go ahead, click on new. So it will be giving us the new Python notebook. Now this particular thing will be known as your input cell. Fine. Here you can have any of the statement. So I will be having my first line of code. So again, it's a print statement. Now you will be realizing how simple the syntax of Python will be. Okay, so here let me give in print. I want to print a simple text. Fine. So whatever you have to print, just enclose it within single quotes or double quote. Fine. So either you can go ahead with single quotes or double quotes, guys. There is no difference between both of them, as Python is flexible around syntaxes. Okay. So let's say I will be printing welcome all. So this is my particular string which I needs to be printed onto the screen and interpreted by my Python. Okay. So if I execute it, there will be two way, either hit run button that you will be having over here, or there will be a shortcut command as shift plus enter. Now the moment you execute the same, you will be having the respective text to be available onto the screen. Okay, so due to this particular reason of simple format, okay, and a user friendly interface where you will be having an input cell where you can easily able to provide your codes, and down the line you will be having the output for the same. Okay, so either you can go ahead with run button to execute the cell, or let me give you a shortcut command. So shortcut command will be shift plus enter. Okay, now guys, Python is very flexible around syntaxes. Now let's say if you do want to have any of the mathematical computation, so directly you can go ahead and execute the same and the output will be available down the line. Now any of the mathematical computations, any of the arithmetic operation, you can directly able to perform. Okay, yeah. So this is how, guys, for now you can easily able to understand. No sort of specifiers, format specifiers will be needed as you will be having in C, C++ or Java. If you want to print anything, directly have a print statement, provide the instructions or the let's say, so here you need to only have to pass the input that you will be expecting onto the output console, right? And you will be having the same. So if I want to print a number, so this is about the particular syntax, right? So let me discuss the features side by side with a implementation sort of thing, right? So features of Python, we have already discussed one around the syntax. So the second thing will be dynamically typed language. Okay, so it is also one of the significant feature of Python. Dynamically typed means that the user need not to worry about the data type of the variables, right? So let's discuss it. Fine, before that, let me start with the very basic unit of any of the programming language, that is variable. Okay, so guys, now a variable can be a neutral container. Okay, neutral container which can hold the information to be processed. So for an example, if I want to refer to any of the respective information, right, or needs to provide it an identifier. Okay, so for an example, I am having a variable and let me store 30 into it. Okay, so if I print X, so it will be yielding up 30. Now X will be my variable and it is identified to 30. Okay, so for now you can say that variable will be a neutral container that will be reserving the memory, fine, for whatever the information that you needs to store. It's up to you. Okay, so basically in real sort of computations we are going ahead with integer, float, right? Or for now let me very specific, you are going ahead either with numeric information, guys, or you will be going ahead with textual information, right? So these two sort of information needs to be processed, right? And for that you need a variable for the same. Okay, now on to this particular part, you don't need to be worry about the type of the variable. Okay, automatically Python will be analyzing the information that is assigned and the type of the variable will be automatically assigned, right? For an example, X is having 30, right? So it will be an integer information, a numeric data. Now guys, I will be using an inbuilt functionality type, right? And the moment I will be providing X over here, it has given me integer. Okay, a integer sort of numeric number, right? Now let me change the information. Let me assign an string, a textual data, right? So you don't need to be exclusively defined any of your data type for the variable. Automatically the information will be processed and the data type will be assigned automatically. Fine, let me execute it. Now X is stored with Thunder. Let me check the type of X. So now it has been turned out to string. Okay, because it's a textual data. So this is how, guys, Python will be called as dynamically typed language. Automatically the information will be processed and typed will be assigned. Okay, so if I am assigning a textual data, automatically the type of X or the numeric, or let's say variable, will be becoming string. If you will be assigning a numeric or the integer data or floating point data, automatically it will be turning the same, right? For an example, let me now give the decimal or the floating number, right? Let's say 56.7. So now my X is having 56.7 to be stored. So X is my variable and 56.7 will be the information, right? So if I check the type of X, now you will be having float, right? So the user need not to be worry about any of the data type or the variable. Fine. So these will be the robust feature. Otherwise, if you will be comparing Python with other languages, so you need to exclusively defined or explicitly defined the data types, right? If I want to make the variable integer, I have to define that it should have the integer information. Fine. If I want to define string, so I will be having either string or the character sort of classes that will be available, right? But for now, I don't need to be worried about anything. Python will be handling and flexible around all the changes. Okay, that's one of the more robust feature of Python. Now guys, after the variable, let's have some of the computation. Okay, so now let me expect some of the inputs from the users, right? So let me have a variable one. So here I'm using again inbuilt functionalities, right? Now let me have second variable, and what I needs to print, let me print the addition of both the variables. Okay, so now the particular interpreter will be asking me for the first number. So let's say I will be giving as 789. Again, it will be asking me the yeah correct second number. So for now, let me have this thing, and then you will be having the computed result. Okay, so this is how Python will be going ahead with the interpreted language. Fine, line by line interpretation will be there, and this is how memory will be managed. Okay, so you can easily able to have all these sort of, so all sort of things will be available onto the line by line interpreted forms. Okay, so guys, these will be about the variables and a basic syntax of Python. Now let's move on to the sum of the data types. Okay, so now we will be discussing only two for now. The first one is list. So wherever you have to simply store multiple sort of data formats or the data types, so guys, you will be referring to some of the core implemented data formats. So how to define a list? Let me have the variable L1, give the square brackets. Now you can have multiple sort of formats. Let's say I will be storing the employee data. Employee ID is 101, name is Harry, department will be technical. So these will be the three elements. Let me also have the salary. So it will be around somewhere $23,000 and 45 cents, right? So here you can see that you will be having integer data, you will be having string data format, and you will be having float, right? Now if you have a glance for L1, so this will be the particular implementation, right, where you can simply have a collection of the information. Okay, so if you check the type of L1, so it will be turning as list, right? So yeah, this is how you can easily able to go ahead and form the different sort of collection of information. Now apart from that, guys, you will be having tuple with you, right? People will be pronouncing it as tuple or tuple. It's totally up to you. Now you will be having the difference in the implementation. Okay, so here we have given the square brackets. Now we are going ahead with curly brackets, right? Let me have second employee with me. Okay, now see the difference. So it's employee ID is 102, employee name is Mary, department will be, let's say, finance for now. Let me have the salary, let's say 78. Fine, let me execute the same. Have a glance on T1. Let me check the type. Okay, now guys, the type of T1 will be tuple for now for me. Okay, now what's the difference between both of them? List can also hold up different data formats. Tuple can also hold up the different data formats. So why should we have these two data formats available if the functionality will be same, right? So there is the difference, a major difference between both of them. Okay, a list will be having the respective data set that can be easily changed or altered, right, once it is declared. Now for the tuple, whatever the data you have defined at the time of declaration, that cannot be changed, right? So for an example, so the major difference will be of mutability. Okay, so for mutability, guys, your list is mutable, which let's say flexible around changes, easily accepting all the changes. And if I talk about tuple for now, so your tuple is immutable. Okay, which means that it is resisting for changes. Change of information is not allowed for the same. Okay, so let's have a implementation sort of explanation, right? So if I am accessing the respective information from L1, let's say employee ID, so I will be giving the indexes, and Python indexes start from 0. Okay, so it's 101, right? Let me try to update it, and now I will be assigning the same as 104. Okay, so if I execute for list, so it is acceptable, right? And if I have a glance on list, now the employee ID has been updated to 104. Earlier it is 101, right? So you can simply see the change and the difference between both of them. Now let's do the same sort of operation with my tuple, right? So again, I will be accessing my employee ID, right, for tuple. So tuple will be storing the details of employee Mary, employee ID is 102. I have a glance for the same. Now let me update it, right? So what I will be doing, let's say I have to change it to 202, right? So the moment I execute my code, guys, it has simply thrown up an type error that tuple object does not support item assignment. So here you can simply see the implementation of mutability, right? Where your list has simply been updated with the information after the declaration, but your tuple has simply thrown up an error at the time of reassignment of the information. Okay, so let's say wherever you are dealing with less crucial or important information, which is subjected to change on quite intervals of time, right? You can go ahead with list. But let's say if you are going ahead and dealing with crucial and important information, right? Let's say your project details, fine. For an example, your banking account balances, right, or details, fine. So the respective implementation is with tuple. So once the information has been assigned, it cannot be changed, right? Neither with human intention nor with machine errors, right? I want that whatever my information has been fixed, it should be fixed. Okay. So that's why we will be having two sort of implementation, mutable and immutable classes, right? Apart from that, guys, we have dictionary sets, a lot sort of things that will be simply discussed in detail, right? Yeah. So this is about data types, right? Now, apart from that, as other languages, we will be having conditional statement to implement the logic. Same thing we will be having with Python. Okay. So now I will be giving you a demonstration of very small example, right, of if and else statement. Okay. So now let's say we will be having a problem statement in front of us, and the problem statement is that we are working with our National Election Commission, right? And let's say within a couple of weeks we will be having elections to be contest in our nation. Fine. So in that particular scenario, the entire team is working on the application, okay, where they needs to filter out the people of a nation based upon their age criteria, whether they will be able to cast the vote or not. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to draft a logic to simply filter out the people of a nation based on age for casting the votes, right? So let's say we will be working on an entire big application. Okay, now you will be seeing the importance of really a small concept in any of the programming language. Okay, so what we have to do, guys, we have to accept the age from the user, then we have to go ahead and implement the same, right? So for that, what I will be doing, I will be having a variable age. Let me have the input functionality. So what needs to be printed onto the screen? So whatever the message I want, I will be having onto the same, right? Now, after that, guys, I will be using your if and else sort of clauses that will be available. Now see the implementation, a very simple implementation for the same, right? So what it will do, it will accept a condition. So let me have my assumable condition. Let's say if a person is greater than or equals to 18. So what you have to print, you are eligible to cast the vote. Okay, that's cool. Now, if this is not the scenario, I'll be going ahead with my else clause. What I'll be doing, you're not eligible to cast the vote. Let me execute it. So a person, let's say the person current age is 16. So the person enters. So now my small algorithm or logic has simply provided the output that, okay, you are not eligible to cast the vote based upon the laws or the policies, yeah, around casting the votes. So the minimum age should be 18 or greater than that. Fine. Now let's say the other user has came, fine, and age entered to be around 45, right? So this respective candidate can go ahead further and have all the needed procedures to be done. So this is how, guys, you can simply able to implement all sort of concepts, right, with these sort of small, yeah, right, concepts, right, that you will be having conditional statement, looping statement, and number of things available. Okay, so it's a very small glance around Python. Okay, now based upon that, guys, we will be simply going ahead to see the basic implementations for all sort of machine learning algorithm, how easy the task is to simply implement and use for different sort of problem statement. Okay, so now, guys, let me simply give you a glance onto the implementation. Okay, so this is a very basic implementation of linear regression. Okay, it's a machine learning algorithm which will be helping you to study the relationship between two variables, okay, of your data set, and it will be drawing all the inferences, pattern, and the learning of the data using the data set. So now guys, this is how you will be going ahead dealing with the data sets, fine, implementing algorithms and having your own sort of predictions. So for now, let me give you a glance onto a data. It's a very basic data set, fine. So let me open the same for you, just a moment. So let's say here you will be having two sort of columns in your data set. One is years of experience for the employee. The other one will be the salary, right? So the first column will be years of experience. The other one will be the salary of the employee, right? So for an example, employee is having 1.1 years of experience. So the corresponding salary will be somewhere around $39,343, right? So this will be the data set of a particular organization. Now, what I will be doing, I have to simply create an algorithm, implement the same, right? Where you will be expecting to predict the salary of the employee based upon years of experience, right? It's very interesting sort of scenario, okay, where you will be creating an algorithm which is taking years of experience and giving you the salary of the employee, which means it is predicting and forecasting the futures things. So for now guys, it's very basic things, right? We are using pandas library for data reading, right? By using csv function, I'll be reading the concepts, okay, I'll be reading the path of my data set, fine. If I am having the head command, I can simply view the loaded data set top 5 records, okay. So this is my top 5 rows of years of experience as well as salary. If you want more, you can easily able to extend the same. Let's say I want 20 rows, I can give the number. If I execute, I am having 20 rows with me. Now after that guys, there will be a functionality, as these will be some of the in-depth concept that will be discussed on the machine learning part, right? For now I'm just giving you the basic thing, okay. So here I have splitted my data set. I have given my data set onto two variable. X will be my variable that is holding years of experience, and Y will be my variable in which I am having the salary column to be stored, right? So these will be the salary of the employee. Now what I'll do, I'll be simply providing my data set to the machine learning algorithm, and this is how simple implementation of machine learning algorithm will be there, right? A very simple implementation, that is linear regression, okay. So once I called my model, I'll be training it, fine. So this is my respective machine learning model, that is L underscore R, okay. So if I fit it, which means I have trained my model, I have passed the data set, so my machine learning model can understand and have all the patterns to be identified. Once pattern has been identified, how data will be loading up, how data will be reacting with each other, fine. So my model can easily able to understand and work on future sort of data set, okay. So now guys, it's totally up to you. My model has been learned. My model name is L underscore R, right? So L underscore R will be my machine learning model, or which will be trained on top of linear regression, okay. Now what I'll do, I can easily able to pass the inputs. So for now, let's say I want to see that, okay, if I'm having an employee who will be having around 4.5 years of experience, right? So what will be the salary? I'll simply go ahead, I'll use predict function, and my model has predicted that if an employee will be having 4.5 years of experience in an organization, so the salary will be somewhere around 68,686. If you give that, okay, I am having an employee with 9 years of experience, so your model has simply giving this salary corresponding to the years of experience, right? So based upon our years of experience, now your model can easily able to predict the salaries, okay. So this is how guys, the things will be goes on Python, okay. It's a very basic sort of scenario or the algorithm, fine. And it's really a fun whenever you will be going ahead with data science techniques, playing around data sets, okay. Because for nowadays the industry is all about data and how well a data is maintained by the organization, so the same thing will be reflected onto the businesses and the performance of the organization, okay. So for now, that's all from my side for today. I hope this session is informative for you, right? We have discussed very basic sort of operations. Okay. So now I will be handing over to the respective persons so they can carry forward the same. So thank you guys. That's all from my side for today.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the this amazing informative session. And now, guys, we have Mr. Vamsi, who will be taking care, who is a senior course mentor at Intellipaat, and he will be guiding you about completely related to Python, how to become a Python developer, and what all skills you will be requiring to become a Python developer or a data scientist as well. So, over to you now.
All right, that was a prior to session from Mr. Abhimanyu. Also, I hope everybody has thoroughly learned the session and capitalized the session what was delivered from Mr. Abhimanyu. All right, guys, now I would like to just introduce what should be your career after you learn in this program and how you can ensure you go ahead and make your career into Python. Yes, we have a full-fledged program which is from Intellipaat, and the program name is Python. So you just need to write Python the search bar, which will be in our website. And then third program, you can see this program, which is a Python certification course. Now, guys, anybody who wanted to make a career, doesn't matter, people come from the non-technical background or people with experience. Yes, it is a necessary somebody to learn Python in this modern world because most of the tasks right now operating based upon the this automation. Now, most of the tasks as it is automation, yes, it is necessary to learn Python. So it is a full-fledged program. What we are bringing to you guys, it's almost comes around 1.5 month. Now, so see what is use of bringing Python. See here earlier, if you see just 20 years back or 10 years back, people used to amaze if they talk about coding or programming. People are very skeptical in terms of learning or getting into IT industry. But trust me, guys, right now Python is one of the easiest programming languages to learn. In fact, it is also used in terms of building websites and softwares, and also Python automates the task. And also, yes, Python is also used into a complex software such as a data science and also data analytics and also machine learning and AI as well. This is the program, guys, I'm talking about. This is a Python certification training course. As I told you, the purpose of bringing Python to make a programming easy and also to make coding easy. It was introduced almost 1991, which was by Gunjo van Rossum, whose purpose is to make this programming easy. Now, after you learning, guys, you will be able to make a career into a data science and AI and machine learning as well. And also, main important thing, you can apply Python into multiple channels, which is you can apply Python into web development and machine learning, AI, game development, as well as you'll be able to apply into data science, data visualization, web scraping applications also. So Python is widely used and it is very important in this 21st century. And job opportunities also, guys, there are almost thousands of jobs every day popping up in the Indian market, and even you can learn these technologies in terms of going for abroad also. I've seen a lot of people also working with the client place after they're learning these technologies. So this will be conducted on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We have evening 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And that trainer will be addressing you the live session along with a more effective way of learning, which is practical learning. So you'll be involving yourself into working on the Jupyter, and you'll be involving yourself into working on more of libraries which are involved like SciPy, NumPy, Pandas, and Lombard functions. All these are libraries. You'll involve yourself into more of a practical learning. That is where the prior to learning comes from, because yes, you'll be able to watch a lot of videos in YouTube. A lot of free sources are there. Trust me, guys, it is important. It is important to learn practical. So we give you the lab setup completely from our end. Our team is there, which is works 24 into 7. Their objective is to ensure you're learning every day with the right pace. Now, yes, you'll be having a 24 into 7 support, which will be from our support team, which involves call support, email support, and a chat support also. Guys, you'll be having total 42 hours of live sessions and more of a practical learning you'll be having, which is 50 hours of project work and exercises you'll be having. And also this programs comes with the lifetime access. That is one added advantage you'll be having, because see, now I'm sure you have learned certain things from the session, which was handled by my trainer. Abhimanyu. Similarly, it is not one day you will be able to learn everything. It is important you guys progress learning same things every day. So I would not say if something it will be boring, but trust me, if you wanted to do a transition, it is important you guys to do a practical learning continuously, and my team will be sharing your screen. I mean, you can share your screen with my team and they're gonna see what you're learning and how you're able to learn, and if you're committing any sort of mistakes, we see by sharing your screen, and then we rectify there in itself. All right, guys. Now coming back, the curriculum, you'll be more learning on all the aspects of Python right from the basic level. Trust me, guys. Anybody from the non-technical, from the technical, and who has a complete zero knowledge also able to learn this program, because we teach you from the very basics. Now all together you'll be having a 12 modules which involves Python environment setup, that is nothing but the lab setup, and followed by you'll be learning a lot of concepts like Python language basic instructions, OOPS concept in Python, database connections, and NumPy for mathematical computing. All of these modules will be learning more comprehensive way, that is practical learning. You can see these are the skills which you'll be gaining from this program. Guys, also one more thing, anybody wanted to learn this program, their objective is to transition into IT industry and transition into a data science or artificial intelligence and machine learning. Trust me, guys, you need to ensure you learn Python first. You wanted to go with a data science or analytics or business analytics or AI machine learning, anything as such, or even Python is also applied into cloud. How? For writing a syntax into a cloud platform, Python is necessary. So yes, it is necessary you to learn first of all basics very strong enough, and followed by you can progress towards learning a data science also. Anybody's objective is to do a data science, guys. This is a better program. Followed by we do have programs which is from CCE IIT Madras. The program name is Advanced Certification in Data Science and AI. Now, once learners are confident enough, they can progress towards learning this program also. People who are having a good experience, which let's say people who are already into IT industry and people who are well aware about Python, they can directly start with this program, which is Advanced Certification in Data Science and AI, which is collaboration with CCE IIT Madras. Advantage, guys, you'll be able to learn directly from the IIT Madras faculty and also industry expert. I'm sure most of you guys wanted to, have a globally accepted certification. This program, whatever you'll be doing from CCIIT Madras, it has a value across the globe. You can also get into UK projects, US projects. You can also get into a lot of projects also after you learn in this program. It is globally accepted. Even you can migrate to other countries also after you learn this program, guys. So also, as we have mentioned on the website, you will be learning absolutely from the scratch. We have mentioned over here, which is no programming knowledge is required. Now, what is the purpose of data science, guys? See, to be very precise, if you want me to tell in a sentence formulation, it will be like you being a data science, you need to extract the data, process, and analyze the data. Okay. Now, see how does it works out? Any business leaders will take decisions based upon the past. Let's say whatever the past particular company has performed, they just observe, they go to statistics. Accordingly, they take decisions. For taking decisions, data science helps a lot. Now, at the end of the day, any person who works as a data science, they will be having the objective to work on different aspects like Python, R, and Power BI. They'll be involved in a lot of things. And at the end of the day, they need to ensure their business is growing. Trust me, guys, if you see, talk about different companies right now, which are Fortune 500 companies like Amazon or Accenture, any of such companies use a lot of data science. Now, even if you talk about machine learning, or let's say if you talk about, if you want me to give an example where data science is applied, yes, it is applied into the Amazon. Okay, where for the recommendation engines, they use data science. Similarly, for companies like Amazon Prime, they use a lot of machine learning algorithms. And Netflix, yes, they use a lot of machine learning algorithms to understand what Indian audience are watching what. Let's say if Netflix wanted to understand the Indian audience, they just go through the watch history, what Indians people are watching, and accordingly they build a lot of algorithms and they try to bring the more relevant content whatever we are watching in the Netflix. This is called a recommendation engine. And also Amazon does almost 35% of their business based upon the recommendation engine. So guys, this will be a 7 months program. The program what we are offering you from CCIIT Madras, you'll be learning absolutely from the scratch. How? Yes, we are starting from the preparation sessions. We don't start directly from the data science models. We involve yourself we invest our time that you should learn from the basics. Yes, if you see here, we have a preparation sessions. It will at least go for 1 month on the Linux and Python. Now, once you've done this preparation, once you're pretty much confident, then you start with the remaining modules, guys. So this consists of total 14 modules, which Excel, if you talk about Excel, yes, you'll be learning a lot of latest and advanced features available in the Microsoft Excel. That is the first module, which is there. Sorry, second module, which is there after preparations. And also you need to understand, if you want to become a data science, it's important that you need to involve your time into understanding the database. So the database, whatever is there over here, that is data wrangling with SQL, it helps in transforming the data into a format that makes easier to work. And GIT, yes, it is the DevOps tool, which is also used for the source code management. Now followed by, you'll be learning a lot of things such as deep learning and natural language processing and computer vision. All of these things you'll be learning in a precise manner. Yes, I can also talk about what is deep learning. It is a type of machine learning and artificial intelligence which imitates the way human gains certain types of knowledge. And deep learning is an important element of data science, which includes a lot of statistics and predictive modeling. So, what will be example of deep learning? Yes, a lot of self-driving cars, such as I can give you example, which is a Tesla cars, and a face recognition also. Now, even if you see what is a natural language processing, it is nothing but the processing. It is ability to understand computer program, and it is also ability to understand the human language. So for the NLP examples, I can tell it is a smart assistant such as Siri and Alexa. Also followed by you'll be having a computer vision, which is the computer vision is nothing but it enables the computer devices correctly and identify an object or a person and digital image. So there is a very relevant understanding between deep learning and the computer vision is a subset of AI. Anybody works on data science, they need to visualize the data, whatever they have, whatever the summary you have got it from the process of doing data science. So for that, you use a Power BI. So in fact, in case if you wanted to just go out and talk to your managers, if you want to talk to your client, what process you have done, you need to simply put it into a pie charts and graphical representations. So for that, you use a Power BI. It's a more of a practical based learning, and we give you almost 50 plus projects, and we almost give you 4 plus capstone projects also. You can see over here, 12th module is a data science capstone project, which summarizes complete program, whatever you learn from 6 months or 7 months. Altogether, you put your time and your efforts in the final project that is called capstone project. In the capstone project, you involve yourself into applying all these modules, whatever you have learned. The capstone project involves Python also, machine learning, AI, and certain concepts of big data. Everything will be involved into the this program, guys. So now anybody has an objective to make their career to next level, it is important they go and learn data science completely from the scratch to advanced level. And we give you complete practical environment also, such as for Jupyter, for Python we give Jupyter, and for other softwares we give you. We can also give you the other softwares which are listed over here. That is a SpicePark we give, and we give pandas, we give keras, and we also give Tableau, SQL, TensorFlow. All these softwares will be given to you. So from the day one, you will be more learning in a practical aspect, guys. So also, all right, guys, that is my number. It is 9177 400 834. So right now, data science is the best technology for the 21st century, and it is creating almost 2.8 million job opportunities. And for next 15 to 20 years, somebody wanted to just settle down into IT industry, I would suggest them data science will be a better career option for them. And having a right certification always strong in their profile, and their portfolio weightage will be also increasing. And for them, certification from IIT Madras, which is CCIIT Madras, adds a value for the profile. And this program goes for next 7 months. You'll be learning from most experienced trainers, which are over here mentioned. That is Dr. Arun K. Tangirala and Dr. Nirva Bhatt and Babji Srinivasan, who are the professors from IIT Madras. Followed by, you can also see the industry experts, who is Madhubabu Cherkuri and Vinayak Panchaman. The good part about this program, guys, also you'll be getting a 2 days campus immersion where you can directly go to IIT Madras. It's a great advantage, guys. As in, so you can directly reach out to Intellipaat in terms of helping you with enrollments. Also, you can reach out to the numbers which are given over there, which is in the chat box. Also, guys, you'll be having a career assistance from Intellipaat. You'll be having a 3 guaranteed interviews, which involves your. We support you in terms of preparing a resume, and we also support in terms of laying a correct career path. If somebody wanted to settle down into companies like Amazon, Accenture, Infosys, Wells Fargo, Deloitte, KPMG, Capgemini, trust me, guys, we have almost 400 plus companies tie-ups. Also, the alumni batch who has relieved a couple of months back, the feedback is very great. Almost 94% success rate we have seen for this program, that is in terms of placement ratio. And we do give you a one-on-one career mentoring sessions in terms of placements. And also we build your resume and we build your LinkedIn profiles. And for the placement itself, we have almost 20 plus live sessions. Now somebody comes with a complete no experience or non-technical background, and after they finishing the program, what should be their career option, and what should be their package, and for 15 years or next 2 years, what should be their expectations. Everything will be clearly articulated from the people what we have. That is a placement cell we have. And here, yes, guys, you'll be also having a exclusive access to all the Intellipaat job portal, where you can see 400 plus companies in that portal, guys. All right. I wish you all the best, guys, and I wish you a great day.
Okay, guys, thank you all for joining the session. And I have provided all the the number as well as the contact details of the course advisor. Okay, so you can reach him out, and definitely it will be better if you can get the coupon code as soon as possible, because we have very limited coupon codes as well. Okay, and thank you all for joining the session. I hope you got to know a lot more perspective about what is Python, what is data science, and everything related to those fields. Okay, thank you all for joining. That's all from my side as well. Okay.